integrity cracks quietly.
I think, look, we support fairness.
Will you guarantee women their own spaces?
Well, that's a conversation we should keep having.
Quietly becomes collapse. Polls down 8 in theaters now.
He wants to be California's next governor. He can't even answer a simple question. You're going to see Swalwell completely melt down when a citizen journalism asks him the one thing every mother in California wants to know. Will you protect women from biological men in their private spaces? The footage is devastating, so revealing that it might just have ended his political career before it even started. And folks, this is the same guy with a Chinese spy scandal who farts on MSNBC, and he's got federal fraud charges hanging over his head. Now, this is not just about Eric Swalwell's cowardice. It's about whether women have any rights left in California. When a man running for governor can't promise to keep biological males out of women's bathrooms, locker rooms, and sports, he's telling every woman in the state that you don't matter. Your safety doesn't matter. Your privacy doesn't matter. Your daughters don't matter. Eric Swalwell had one chance to show that he'd stand up for half the population of California instead. He became a human pretzel, twisting himself into knots to avoid saying what everybody knows is true. Women deserve protection from men in their private spaces. This is the future of California if he wins, where political correctness trumps physical safety and where women's rights get sacrificed on the altar of woke ideology and where asking for basic dignity makes you the enemy. While politicians like Swalwell sacrifice women's safety for political correctness, you can still give gifts that actually matter. C60 Evo holiday gift sets protect what is important, your family's health. Okay, you're going to get 40% off 6 bundles with advanced facial serum and breakthrough C60 Evo olive oil that fights aging, boosts energy, and speeds recovery. Unlike Swalwell's empty promises, this delivers real results that you can see and feel, and I am a walking testimony to it. Even my wife, our family. Some even give it to pets for mobility support. Now remember, this exclusive deal is not available anywhere else, only at the link below, c60evo.com/NNN. Protect your family's health this holiday season while politicians won't even protect their own safety of their constituents. Link below, c60evo.com/NNN. Now, here's what makes all of this even worse. Swalwell is running for governor while under DOJ criminal investigation for mortgage fraud. The same guy who got compromised by the Chinese spy Fang Fang now wants to run California. Steve Hilton exposing his real priority. Swalwell literally said his number one job as governor would be to fight Trump, not fix homelessness, not stop crime, not protect women, fight Trump. Of course, the internet's verdict was brutal. He basically admitted he'll do nothing to protect women, and one user nailing it. Democrats have to spin every single answer to simple questions because they can't tell the truth without exposing their anti-woman agenda. Now, this is when the news broke about Swalwell under criminal probe at the DOJ.
Moments ago, Fox can now confirm that California Democrat Congressman Eric Swalwell has been criminally referred to the Department of Justice accused of mortgage fraud. Senior White House correspondent Peter Ducey reporting live on this breaking news on Eric Swalwell from the North Lawn. Hey, Peter.
Martha, as I was walking up here to do a hit on a different topic, I got a call from an administration official filling us in that Eric Swalwell, the Democratic California congressman, has indeed been referred to the Justice Department by Bill Pulte, who is the head of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac right now, because he is accused of making false or misleading statements on a mortgage application. We believe that this pertains to a $1.2 million house that Swalwell has in the Washington, D.C. area. Swalwell has already responded. Part of his very long statement says, as the most vocal critic of Donald Trump over the last decade, and as the only person who still has a surviving lawsuit against him, the only thing I am surprised about is that it took him this long to come after me. Like James Comey and John Bolton, Adam Schiff and Lisa Cook, Letitia James, and the dozens more to come, I refuse to live in fear in what was once the freest country in the world. Now, Swalwell has not been charged with anything. This is a criminal referral. Basically, a government agency thinks that they spotted something that is possibly illegal on mortgage documents from Swalwell. The Justice Department will now review these documents to see if a prosecutor believes that charges are worthy in this case, and then we would go from there in the judicial process. Martha.
And that is only the beginning of Eric Swalwell's problems. Over on Team Twitchy, 5 hours ago, narrator, no, he will not protect women from the mentally ill men. Eric Swalwell squirm as Tish Hyman pushes him about protecting women's private spaces from men. Checking in, going deeper. Tish Hyman sat down with Congressman Eric Swalwell to ask tough questions about women's safety. Let's find that post. Here it is.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, thanks for coming.
My name is Tish Hyman. So, I have a lot of things you said earlier. Thank you. So, I've been harassed, verbally and assaulted multiple times by men in the women's locker room at Gold's Gym in LA. I've even lost my membership after objecting to one man in the women's locker room who turned out to be a convicted domestic abuser who broke his wife's jaw so badly she needs to have surgery. You're on record saying that men in women's locker rooms and sports is a quote, not a thing. Given what's happening on the ground in California, will you now acknowledge that it is in fact a thing? And if elected governor, what would you do to protect women in California from men, including men convicted of violence against women who can self-identify into any female space under the current law?
I was a prosecutor in Oakland for 7 years, and where justice was warranted and mercy was warranted, I showed it. And where a stiff punishment was warranted because somebody got hurt, I saw it. And I will not be a governor that tolerates violence against women in our state. Period. That's not going to happen. Now, as it relates to the issue of trans kids, particularly in sports, sure. Yeah, that's wrong. Harassment, I'm going to protect women. I did as a prosecutor. I will protect women. No woman should be harassed in any locker room. I'm telling you, no woman should be harassed in a locker room. That's a crime. That's a crime.
Women's locker rooms and sports. That's all you can.
I'm telling you, I don't want men harassing you in a women's locker room. That should not happen. I will also say,
the weather's prisons right now. Raping them, taking them out like chicken. The trans men are not women, and they're raping women. So I don't care on the Democrat side or the Republican side. We need to know the security. It's happening to our girls. It's happening to our women. I'm here so that everyone knows that this is how we hear you.
I'm telling you.
Black people who they're using our civil rights to push this shit. You want to be the governor, you need to do something about it. And I promise you this. I will not be the last to the petition.
I'm going to protect you as governor. You have my word on this. I'm going to protect you.
Oh, Eric Swalwell. She had the guts to stand up to him. Thomas Hennessy writes, Californian, he calls him Eric Dunning-Kruger Swalwell. Quote tweeting Eric himself, Californians want a fighter and a protector and to get shit done. Approach on lowering prices. That's why I'm running for governor. In that clip, Swalwell basically admitted he'll do nothing to protect her or any other women from men in private spaces in sports. Here is Steve Hilton.
One job. Eric Swalwell went on Jimmy Kimmel last night to say that he's running for governor of California and his number one job, unbelievably, this wasn't a joke, is to fight Donald Trump. We got the highest gas prices in the country. Working people can't pay electric bills. The rent is the highest in the country. Homelessness, crime, the worst business climate, everything a disaster. And he says his priority is fighting Donald Trump? No. When I'm governor, my priority will be to clean up the mess left by Eric Swalwell and his Democrat policies. Eric Swalwell went on Jimmy Kimmel last night to say that he's running.
Because it's always about fighting Trump, right? It's never about policy. Check this out. His district in California, greasy, slick, gruesome, and sleazy, slick, greasy Swalwell, California is doomed. Democrats love criminals. Democrats' priorities. This is what Democrats have done to America. Let illegals in, let criminals out, coddle the lazy, persecute Christians, demonize police officers, let boys and girls bathrooms. Yeah. Proof Eric Swalwell is a moronic choice for governor.
Eric Swalwell running for governor of California. The guy who had an affair with a Chinese spy and farted on live television is running for governor.
Ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election.
I think Katie Porter running probably gave him a boost in confidence. He's like, if the woman who dumped a boiling pot of potatoes on her husband's head has a chance, well, standards have really tanked. Therefore, I've got a shot as well. And he's already out there showing just what he has to offer California. First up, voting by phone.
I want us to be able to vote by phone. I think every Californian vote by phone. Yeah, if we can do our taxes, do our, make our healthcare appointments, make essentially do your banking online, you should be able to vote by phone.
What could possibly go wrong there? California, you get no pity from anybody at all, ever. I hope you're happy with Sir Farts a Lot or Katie, get the F out of my shot, Porter. Eric Swalwell running for governor.
Let's check in with Rapid Response 47, 24 hours ago. When President Trump talks about the importance of securing our elections, it's because deranged Democrats like creepy Eric Swalwell think it's a good idea to vote by phone.
Banking online. I want us to be able to vote by phone. I think every Californian vote by phone. Yeah, if we can do our taxes, do our, make our healthcare appointments, make essentially do your banking online, you should be able to vote by phone. I want us to be able to vote by phone.
Yeah, that's real secure. How many spam calls are going to hit the elections? Of course, you saw that kill shot. He summed up the entire disaster. No, he will not protect women from mentally ill men. That's it. That's the whole story. A man who wants to govern 40 million Californians can't be promised to keep men out of women's changing rooms. Tish Hyman didn't ambush him. She gave him a softball to show he cares about women's safety, and he struck out completely. So this Thanksgiving, California women should be thankful they saw this before Election Day. Eric Swalwell just showed you exactly who he is, a coward who will sacrifice your daughter's safety for political points, a compromised politician under federal investigation who thinks fighting Trump matters more than protecting women. This is your future, California, if you let him win. So every time a woman gets assaulted in a bathroom, every time a girl loses her sports scholarship to a biological male, every time a survivor has to change next to a man, remember this moment. Remember when he had the chance to stand up and chose to sit down instead. So here's the question for the comments. Should any politician who refuses to protect women's spaces be disqualified from office? Yes or no? Let's have a conversation in the comments and show where you stand by grabbing some next news gear that actually stands for something. The link's below.